Hello all of my beautiful little unicorns and welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time that you're on my channel, please allow for me to introduce myself to you. My name is Vanessa Somuayina. I am also known as the Unicorn Mom and your big sis from the internet. And today I am going to help you figure out precisely what's coming towards you during the first month of the year 2024 in this January prediction. So if you want to start off the new year on a high and already start hitting your goals and being consistent and disciplined, then this is the perfect reading for you. I've got 4 groups prepared for you, and I would like you to pick one of these 4 groups intuitively. Of course, if you feel drawn to multiple groups, then feel free to tune into multiple readings, as your January prediction might be a mixture between multiple groups. And you guys, I will be channeling some very specific messages, also specific placements. If something doesn't resonate with you, then that message simply wasn't meant for you. Take what serves you within these readings and leave what doesn't resonate with you. If you want a completely personal one-on-one reading with me, the link is below in the description box. On my website, I've got a calendar in which I have published the upcoming one-on-one reading dates. So these happen via Google Meet, and for all of you who had a one-on-one reading with me during the month of December in 2023, just know that I appreciate you. It was so amazing to be able to connect with you guys in person, and I know a lot of you guys have said that this feels like therapy. You want more one-on-one slots with me. So at the point of me publishing this video, I have opened some more one-on-one slots. Each time I've done this, they've sold out immediately. So if you're looking to get a one-on-one reading with me, don't say I didn't tell you so. You guys are literally so insane. I just checked the calendar on my one-on-one slots that I'm offering for the 16th and 17th of December for like tarot readings, life coaching, and so on. Basically every slot, or almost every slot, is booked and taken. You guys, I'm just on my little lunch break from today's one-on-one sessions. It's been so amazing to meet all of you from all parts of the world. Like, we've had America, we've had different parts of Asia, we've had Europe, like, you guys, even Africa, South Africa too. And yeah, you guys, today's slots are completely sold out. I've just been doing one-on-ones literally the whole day, and I've still got the whole afternoon and evening. Finished all of my one-on-one sessions with you for the year 2023. Thank you guys all for being so amazing. It's been so fun to be able to offer like one-on-one meetings during the month of December. Like, the first time doing it and it being like so sold out, you guys enjoying the sessions, I was loving it, and I really think it's something that I will still be doing in the year 2024. Back to your January predictions, let's get into it. Now, group number 1 corresponds to the Muse tarot deck. Group number 2 corresponds to the Pastel Journey tarot deck. Group number 3 corresponds to the Divine Feather Messenger Oracle deck. And group number 4 corresponds to the Heavenly Bodies Astrology deck. But the timestamps to all 4 of these groups can be found below in the description box, as well as pinned to the top of the comment section for quick and easy access from your tablets, your mobile devices, your TVs, and your laptops. So now I will give you a little moment of privacy so you can meditate on these 4 groups. Feel free to pause the video right here if you need a minute to make up your mind, and then I'll be right back with you to guide you into your January predictions. Alright, so by now you've hopefully been able to select one of these 4 groups. I will be getting into your reading starting off with group 1, which corresponds to the Muse Tarot. So if this is a group that you chose, then please continue watching. And to all of my other gorgeous groups, I will catch you at the click of your timestamp. Hello, all of my lovely souls of group number 1. Welcome to your January 2024 predictions, which I'm so excited about because I have a really, really amazing feeling for the year 2024. I know for a lot of you, including myself, 2023 was a little challenging. It was a little rude. It was not the favorite year of our existence. But you know what? That's fine, because we are some positive people here who aren't afraid to go through some lows before experiencing some highs again. So let's see what January of 2024 has to offer for us. Okay, we have some cards that almost popped out, but not quite. So let's keep shuffling. Unless something actually pops out of the pile, we're not ready yet. So let's see what, oh, you guys, that is what popping out of the pile is all about. Let's get our foliage back. Okay, there we go. Now, let's get into it. Group number one, you've got the Muse of Inspiration. Wow. Okay, so the year 2024 is going to start off with a bang for you. You're going to feel very inspired during the month of January to follow a lot of healthy routines and things that you've always set your mind to do but just never quite got around to doing. So that could be eating really healthily, working out, writing in your journal, going to the gym, making sure that you're calling your friends and family more, taking those vitamins. You get the idea, group number one. And I want you to know here in the Muse of Inspiration that sometimes we start doing these things and we already get a little pessimistic because we're like, well, you know, everyone does that in January. And well, how long will it last for? Group number one, it will last for as long as you allow it to last. Oh, and by the way, for all of you who always ask me where I've got my nails from, yes, I am starting to make my own nails. You can find actually this exact pair of nails on my website on bowlife.com. So these are called Sweet as Honey. They are luxury handmade press-on nails. They're also reusable. I'm wearing the size small. I want you to know I've got sizes small, medium, and large. And yeah, you guys, I absolutely love these. I've been obsessed with them, and I know you guys will love them too. So let's move further into it. Group number one, you're gonna have this zest for life, and I want you to not already judge it. Because the thing with you, group number one, is that you've got pure intention, and in a way that makes you really hard on yourself at times, because you know in the past you may have dealt with a little bit of self-deprecating thoughts, you may have dealt with self-sabotage, even fear of success. So the Temperance card is showing up for you to temper yourself in these negative thoughts, for you to slow your roll in overthinking and already saying to yourself, well, I don't know if it'll work out, or I already know that I'm eventually going to quit with this passion that I've got, with this newfound drive. It always happens during the month of January. But I just want you to understand here that it doesn't need to end. The year is really long. Break it down and have every single month be like the beginning of a new year. Tell yourself that, you know what, I'm going to start off every month with newfound energy, with drive, with enthusiasm, just as I did in January. Who cares if it's February, March, April, and I have the same vibe and the same feeling going for myself? If it serves me, that's all that matters, even if it sounds or feels silly. Next up in the Two of Emotions, group number one, we're moving straight into the business of love. The Two of Emotions corresponds to the element of water. And the element of water represents relationships, especially romantic ones. The Two of Emotion is a card that speaks of a romance that's coming your way during the month of January, and some sort of romantic excitement that you've got going for you here. And I want you to look forward to this, group number one. I want you to get excited, because starting the year off with a little bit of like romantic tension can keep you motivated for the next weeks and months, because it just shows you, you know what, I've still got it. So I also just wanted to throw in a couple letters. So we've got ROL. So these are important letters in your person's name that you're going to be having a romantic time with during the month of January. And I also just want to add some charms into this, if you don't mind, group number one. See what we're going to get. So let's see what Spirit is going to bring us. Oh, we've got the saw as well as the symbol of meditating. So I do see here, when it comes to January, that you're going to sever ties with anything that doesn't bring you calmness. Okay, that's why we've got the saw and this little symbol of meditation. And if you feel as though there's something in your life that is giving you more of a headache rather than allowing you to chill, saw it off, group number 1. We don't have time for that. Okay, when it comes to zodiac signs, we've got Pisces here for you. So Pisces energy is energy that is nurturing. It is very psychic energy as well. So for all of my Pisces babies and those of you who love Pisces in general, Pisces energy, the month of January will bring you more of this amazing, caring, nurturing vibe, either through the person that you'll be spending a lot of time with or just your Pisces placement being super activated for you. So the month of January feels like your sensitive side and your emotions are being validated. So next up, we've got the spiny seahorse. So in January, you'll feel as though you're living your own traditions and values and norms again, especially if during the month of December and even November in 2023, you felt like you had to fit in a lot. You felt like you had to do a lot of celebrating that didn't resonate with you, and even spend time with people who you were not 100% into spending time with. In January, things will go back to your comfort zone, and things will go back to a place where you feel like this is where you actually belong, and this is actually the type of vibe you can stand behind and you can proudly represent. Next up, we've got the Candy Baslet. Now, this card is about knowing your worth, keeping your standards high. So January is not going to be a compromise, romantically speaking. So don't be surprised if you, for example, love gifts and you go on a date with someone and they bring a gift for you immediately. There's no asking, there's no wondering whether they can fulfill this love language. They just do it because that's who they are, and they're not going to lowball you. And let's be real, like people who pretend like the love language of gift giving is the devil or is something so terrible. It's like, who doesn't like a gift? Even the people who refuse to allow you to enjoy that love language, it's like, wouldn't you like if you got a gift? So why are you so allergic to making someone feel happy or to doing something little that can brighten up other person's entire week? Because it's not about the monetary value, right? It's just about the thoughtfulness and having like a little gesture that reminds you that they thought about you and they prioritized your happiness. So we've got Ogma next. Oh, okay. So as we did have the Two of Emotions, I just want you to know this is the type of individual that will have coming into your life that knows your worth. And watching your words is important with Ogma because they take things quite literally. So having this person come into your life in January, they will take everything literally in the sense of if you, for example, say that you love, absolutely adore going to tropical places, they will already be scoping out where you're going to be traveling with one another. If you say that you're a huge fan of a certain brand, they will already look to get you a gift from that brand. So watch your words around them because sometimes you can tend to say you like things that maybe you do like, but there would have been something else that you loved even more. So try to be watchful with your words and that you really show enthusiasm in the areas of life that matter because they're going to try to make that a thing. They're going to try to make it happen. So if you say that, oh, you don't really feel like you need flowers or they die super quickly or something like that, then they're not going to get you flowers, okay? So if you know that you secretly would like flowers, for example, just say you love flowers. Like, keep it simple. Yes, sure, they wilt after a couple days. Sure, it can be a waste of money, or at least it can feel that way at times. But that's not the kind of energy that we're trying to give off here romantically, starting off in 2024. Group number 1, we are worth it. We know our value, and there's a reason why flowers are being sold because there's still a lot of people out here who know their value and know that it's not even a big thing for someone to give you flowers. Yes, they have an expiration date, but so do relationships. So does your beauty, your youth. So does your career. So does your health. Everything at some point has an expiration date, as harsh as it sounds, group number 1. So you might as well enjoy the parts of life of feeling luxuriously taken care of and of being shown that you are worth something, such as a bouquet of flowers. It's not a big deal, okay? We need to get out of this mindset of feeling like it is something big, or we have to say, oh no, it's fine, you don't need to. No, actually, you do need to. Learn to get comfortable in accepting nice things, group number 1. Next up, we have got Apollo. Now, Apollo is bringing some divine messages. This is either a close male friend or a close brother figure within your life, someone that you really like that has a little bit of like feminine traits. It could also be that this is someone who identifies as male and is attracted to other males, so they may have a more comfortable kind of vibe when it comes to femininity. They may also embrace their feminine side more than a straight man would. Okay, so in Apollo, this is the type of person that's going to give you the best advice in January. Go to them for any kind of heartache or heartbreak, for anything that you're struggling with. They will have your back. They get you, they understand you. You're not going to need to over explain, and they will have you remembering your worth and your value whenever you fall off. But of course, if you fall off, also come to my channel, because in January I'll be uploading some crazy great videos that will help you to remember your worth, group number 1, and to stick to it. Add tax, make sure that you don't fall off on your journey of truly exhibiting self-love. Next up, we've got the gorilla. Now, the gorilla shows that in January, you'll be taking a lot of time to compassionately listen to those that you love, especially some family members that are going through it. So I want you to know here that some people will need your help. They will need a shoulder to lean on or even to cry on in January. And it's important that while people are doing that, you don't feel like overwhelmed or like everything is just too heavy for you. Okay, so take some time away from them too. Make sure that people aren't just coming to you to trauma dump, which means coming to you whenever they have issues, but not also uplifting you, right? We need to make sure that the relationship is mutually beneficial. And in the peacock, let yourself stand out and be noticed. Like, don't be afraid in January to continue to glow like you did during the festive season. Don't feel like in January you can't wear that sequin top or sequin dress. Don't feel like you shouldn't embrace a very divine feminine vibe inside. Continue to be just as the peacock, embracing your feathers, embracing your charming side, wearing the things that you love. Start off January already being your main character, being this person that when you think of the dream version of you and you think of what they look like externally, start doing it, start embodying it. What are you waiting for, group number 1? We are not allowing for another year to pass by without actually stepping into the version of ourselves that we want to see and be and love. Now, in the elk, know to stand tall and maintain your dignity, no matter what. Others will treat you with the respect that you deserve during the month of January. You're getting public recognition finally. You're taking credit where credit is long overdue, because that's the thing with you, group number 1. You're very humble, and sometimes credit is way overdue and it's time to take it. That credit being way overdue could be quite literal credit that you're owed, okay? Like, for example, a bonus, a promotion that means that you will earn more. Taking that credit because it is due, group number 1. So look forward to starting the year off on a high of knowing your worth and your value, receiving and taking it, and also being wined and dined by our little snack here, Ogma. So we've got reddish kind of curly hair. It can also be brown. We've got very strong masculine facial features, strong jaw. We do have a beard situation going on here. As you can see, we've got tattoos. Ogma seems to be a pretty well-built individual. We've also got full lips. They look very soft. And we've got blue eyes, all right? And a nose that is not huge. It's shaped very nicely, and, you know, it fits his face well. Good hairline, good hair. Group number 1. So those are the physical features of Ogma and this person that you're compatible with here in January, and that you've got a really strong chance of linking up with, of meeting. So I also just want to use our Astro Dice to add a date into this for you, because you guys know on this channel, we are not afraid to be very specific. So we have got the 6th. If you're looking to go on a date, the 6th is it, as well as the 11th. These are the days in which you're most likely to link up with them. And let's see what else that we've got. We've also got Mercury here. Okay, so within Mercury, I just want you to know this is the planet of communication. So getting in touch with them, having communication with them from the 6th through the 11th, and then furthermore meeting up, group number 1, making sure that this becomes a thing that is for real. Now, group 1, I want to clear and cleanse the space and delve into a few more messages that we've got for the month of January for you. So just hold on tight and I'll be right back. All right, group number 1, let's get a little more into it, shall we? So we can get into some more details about the month of January for you. So we've got first and foremost justice. Justice will be served. You will be watching some sort of court case, something on TV, even like with a celebrity that did some horrendous things, and justice is creeping in, okay? Justice is being served. They're losing court cases, rightfully so. And I just want you to know that this is something that you will be following closely in January, something where it is very clear that the perpetrator did a heinous act, something really mean and wrong, and justice is finally coming their way, also known as karma, and balance is being restored. So I do want you to know here that January will be a very interesting time for you when it comes to finally seeing how people are paying for wrongs that they have done, and it will restore your faith in the universe and humanity and karma in many ways. And I see within transformation for you, January is bringing something in which you feel different than you had in the past during this month of January. It's bringing a transformation on a cellular level. So not just surface level changes for you of getting new clothes and leveling up your hair and your face and just the way that you carry yourself, but that actually is going to change you from the inside out too, because you're feeling more confident, you're feeling more like yourself, and in a sense, you feel less of a need to prove yourself to anyone. It's like, this is who I am, and either you like it or you get out of my way. I just see in transformation also a lot of confidence in this gorgeous butterfly that you're becoming from being a caterpillar, because you've been through a lot and you won't let anyone put you through challenges again. Next up, we've got the 8 of Swords. So some conversations will be great and uplifting. Some conversations in January will hurt. They'll make you feel like, geez, why did I even insert myself into this situation? So I do see here that in January you will receive some information that makes you feel like you wish you didn't know it. So someone's secret revealed to you that makes you feel like you want to share it and you want to tell other people just to get it off your chest, but you can't because the secret is just so deep and dark. I see here within the Sensashal that the secret has to do with someone telling you how they cheated on their partner. I see in the Sensashal that the secret has to do with someone who gave in to their very kind of primal primitive instincts, and you never expected that from this person. And the thing is, like, you know the person that they cheated on and whose back that they went behind, and it's really hard for you to keep this to yourself now, and it's changing the worldview that you had from that person of being a pretty upright and pretty straightforward individual to all of a sudden feeling like a lack of trust and respect. So this ties in with justice and you being a little afraid for them for what their karma will look like and what will come towards them after doing such a thing. Next up, we've got the 6 of Water, but this showed up in reverse. Let's just zoom in on this card. Here we go. So let me just show you what this card looks like upright. Excuse me, it's the 4 of Water because it showed up in reverse. I read it as the 6 when it's actually the 4, right? We've got 1 and then 5, so 5 minus 1, which is 4, but I thought it was 5 plus 1. But you get the gist. We've got the 4 of water, group number 1. This is a card of self-reflection, looking in the mirror. And I do see here that looking in the mirror comes with a lot of judgment, with a lot of picking apart little things, like literally going so close to the mirror in your bathroom and looking at like tiny little pores or imperfection on your skin and feeling like you are not perfect enough, feeling like your skin isn't good, feeling like you're not attractive. And it's like, you are aware of the fact that on social media and stuff, all of the images that you see are extremely photoshopped, okay? They are kind of like fine-tuned and smooth to the point where, first of all, you're not looking at people as up close as you're looking at yourself, but second of all, like, just liberate yourself from this comparison immediately in January. If you feel like you're using Instagram or TikTok to compare yourself more than you're using it to inspire yourself, it might be time for you to seriously limit that screen time is what I meant to say, to call yourself out for when you're doing that, when you're getting into that cycle. I see here within thought that you are being a very, very self-reflective individual during the month of January, and in a lot of ways you also realize that your thoughts are your superpower if you just use them to uplift yourself. If you use your thoughts to not push yourself into the abyss of comparison, if you use your thoughts to uplift yourself, to do things that make you feel good, and to remind yourself, like, hey, everyone's different. Also, with AI technologies and stuff, a lot of images aren't even real. So, you know, why compare yourself to something that doesn't even exist? When you walk down the street in your hometown or where you live, do you ever see someone that looks like on social media? No, they don't exist. Like, it's not even a thing. So please remind yourself of the fact that you are gorgeous in your own way and in your own right, and kind of reform your thoughts to being positive about yourself. That's how you can combat these self-deprecating thoughts. Whenever you feel like my skin isn't clear enough, my body isn't thin or snatched or curvy enough, or whatever it may be, just remind yourself to say, no, actually, I am gorgeous. Actually, I have a lot of things that make me unique internally and externally, and I'm not going to nitpick. I'm actually going to prioritize learning to look in the mirror and loving what I see. January is starting off on a very personal kind of note. This is a month in which you're learning to look in the mirror and the reflection that you see, starting to really like and love that, starting to really adore it. So going from not liking it, maybe even avoiding mirrors, to accepting it, to actually embracing it and loving it. Loving it like you've never loved anyone before, and low-key you will even get to the point where you feel like, oh my god, am I a narcissist? Like, why am I so in love with myself? But if you started off insecure, group number 1, don't worry, you wouldn't become a narcissist overnight, and it's just not even in your personality. Next up, we've got multiple streams. So multiple streams shows us that January is the month of starting to work on multiple streams, because you've learned that a lot of people who are financially secure and successful, they've got multiple streams of income, multiple things that they're doing, and multiple ways in which they have money flowing in. And you're trying to kind of replicate that, because you're learning more and more that there's no point in listening to people's advice who aren't even remotely where you'd like to go, but it makes more sense to listen to people's advice who are actually in a spot that you kind of like envy, or that you wish you were at as well, because that's most likely going to actually lead you to success. And there we go. We've got the World card. January is going to be actually a very positive month for 2024. It's going to be one of the best months you're experiencing right at the beginning, because the World card is the last card of the major arcana within the tarot. And the Book of Tarot, this being the last card, is a positive card. This is a card of fulfillment, of completion, of finishing your tasks, and also ending January on a really strong note, group number 1. Next up, we've got the King of Cups. So in the King of Cups, I also want you to be aware of the fact that ending this on a really strong note makes you feel, the Knight of Cups, not the King of Cups. Reading is fundamental, but it's not my strength on this lovely morning, group number 1. So the Knight of Cups shows us a very triumphant type of energy, an energy of already being excited for February, already being excited for what's to come next, because your confidence has been built in January through your experiences and through everything that went well for you during this month. So do know here that an elevated sense of self and confidence walking into February is already going to prime you for success in the upcoming months. So group 1, this is the reading that I received for you, and I hope that you found it insightful. I hope that you feel more confident about what the month of January is going to look like for you. If you enjoyed being in this space, then make sure that you don't forget to subscribe to my channel to never miss any of my upcoming predictions and to be as prepared as you possibly can be for all of the upcoming months, because I have never missed a monthly prediction, you guys, not in years. I feel like it's been at least like 4 years now. So you guys know that you can count on me to be here to guide you, to give you all of the uplifting energy that you need. So don't miss out on being part of the Unicorn fam. So group number 1, I'm sending you so much love, and I can't wait to connect with you during one of my upcoming readings. Hello, my lovely souls of group number 2. Welcome to your reading. You chose the Pastel Journey Tarot deck to help guide you, which is, by the way, the second tarot deck that I ever published. And look at these edges, you guys. Look at these gilded sides. I mean, the holographic vibes of the Pastel Journey Tarot deck, that's one of my favorites, but also the fact that it is super inclusive and gives us just this really lighthearted energy, even when looking at challenging messages for the upcoming times in our lives. So let's see what January holds in stock for us, shall we? Group number 2. Ooh, we've got the World. The World is actually the most favorable card of the tarot. Congratulations, group number 2. This is literally, so to say, the best card. In the major arcana within the book of tarot, this is the final card of the major arcana, the final card which corresponds to number 21. This is a card of fulfillment, of the world being your oyster and kind of laying at your feet, if you will. And group number 2, receiving this card at the start of your reading shows that the month of January will overall be an exceptionally favorable, lucky, and amazing month for you. This is a month of good fortune. This is a month of dreams coming to fruition. This is a month of completion. So you're starting off the year with a bang, group number 2. Good for you. Next up, we've got the King of Swords. Now, let me tell you, in January, you'll be working with someone who has King of Swords type of energy. Now, it is just for the month of January that you will be working so closely with this person. They have air sign energy, which means Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini energy. They have longer hair, a serious face. They're very logical, to the point, and they are the type of person that you want to kind of work with and collaborate with in order to make things happen. So working with has a lot of different meanings, group number 2. It could be a trainer at a gym that teaches you precisely how to get into shape, and once you've learned the basics and the ropes, you move on. That's why they're just here in January. It could be someone that you're working on a work project with, a coach, a mentor, someone's book that you're reading or podcast that you're really into, and they're just helping you to this fulfillment, to this completion in January that makes you feel like, okay, I got what I needed from this person. Now I can move on to the next pieces of advice, the next project, the next thing that is going to elevate me. Next, we've got the Seven of Pentacles show up within your reading. Now I see in the Seven of Pentacles, I sense this energy that January is just the beginning. You've got so many goals ahead of you that you've only scratched the surface of, group number 2. So the thing is, you're a dreamer and you want an exceptional life. And you're actually not afraid to put in an exceptional amount of work as well. And this is where in today's time and day and age, a lot of people get it a little mixed up or get a little confused. They want an exceptional life. They want to eat, but then they wonder why there's a lot on their plate. But not you, group number 2. To you, when there's a lot going on, when you know that there are projects to finish up, when your to-do list is long, you've come to the point of understanding that your to-do list is never going to be worked off. It's never going to be done. You've realized that. And you're actually excited to just pick out the most important tasks, do those, and to change your life for the better, one piece of action at a time. Next, we've got the Mandarin fish. Now, when this card shows up, it is a gentle reminder from your guides and from the universe to be gentle with yourself. If you're someone who is very religious, then see this as a message from God, taking steps back if needed. You're pushing forth so much during the month of January, group number 2. You're accomplishing a lot. You're seeing results. It's also okay to plan a little mini vacation or even staycation for February. Take some steps back as well. So you're not always just going forth full force and you're not burning yourself out, but you're also making time for something like a spa day, like a little weekend getaway. How much is a plane or a train ticket to a little town or country close by, really? I mean, it depends on your financial situation, but chances are you can create an atmosphere of a vacation either in your home or close by without breaking the bank. And I see that you're being called to do this with a friend. Socialize and celebrate life. That's the message we've got here in the bottlenose dolphin that you received in your reading. This is about having a good time, group number 2. You've worked hard. You also should play hard. Don't feel as though all you got to do is work. You don't live to just pay bills and work. You live, to experience things, to do life, and to have fun. And it's great that you're someone who is so responsible. And we really got to give you credit where credit is due for that, because a lot of people in your position or your age wouldn't have made the same out of the opportunities that they were given in the way you have, group number 2. But it's also important that you remind yourself that you're also just human who's allowed to chill and relax and enjoy life too. Now, let's pull a card here for you. Okay. The message we've got is that January will bring you peace. Group number 1, doesn't that sound amazing? In peace, I want you to know that because of you accomplishing so much, you're at ease, you're at peace. You know precisely what's happening financially. You know what's happening romantically. Even if that is not much change, sometimes no change is really good news, because that means that you don't have to deal with any kind of unexpected flare-ups or incidences. Now, in peace, we also have the symbol of the dove. Don't be surprised if you see this in January at seemingly every turn when there's any depiction of a bird. Next up, we've got friendship. So January allows you to focus on your friendships and close relationships that are platonic. So that means that you're spending time with friends, feeling as though you're in the circle of supportive souls and actually getting a sense of enjoyment and relaxation. Now, your psychic abilities in January, that's where it gets interesting, group number 2, because there is some sort of third eye opening that you will be experiencing. Now, that means seeing a lot of things twice, like having these deja vu moments, which means that you're experiencing things in January that you know you've never experienced before in this lifetime. It is impossible for you to have experienced it before. It's impossible for you to know someone you've never met before, right? Or at least that's what society says. That's what science up until this point says. Somehow a lot of these things that are happening feel like you have already experienced them, even though it's not possible. But it feels like there's some sort of connection there that's inexplicable, but that you have already had within your life, that already showed up at some given point. So that is where your psychic abilities are feeling activated, and in many instances you're like, wait, did I already experience this? Did I already meet this person? Do I already know this situation? What is going on with me? That is what I see here for January, but don't be afraid, don't be scared, group number 2. This is not something to worry about. This is a good sign. This shows that you're getting in tune with your unique psychic abilities, whether that is being clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, whether that is a different type of psychic ability that you're slowly getting to know and learning how to maneuver and deal with. I just want you to also know that this is something that runs in the family. So if your mom and your grandmother, this is very feminine energy, if they already had some sort of uncanny psychic ability, it is slowly being portaled and passed down to you with more strength. And the Two of Materials shows us here that it will help you to balance yourself and feel more in control. Another thing I want to add is that, as like scary and harsh as it sounds, the less people are in your lineage currently. So if, for example, your grandmother is no longer with you, then that passes down these psychic abilities more strongly to you. The less people there are where these abilities are kind of spread across. So it's almost as though with the loss of a loved one or someone in your lineage, these abilities get passed down to you more strongly. And if you're feeling a connection to a deceased loved one who was in your family who had an ability, and I don't want you to feel as though it can only be passed down from women to women. It can also be that you had a grandfather who had a very specific ability that is kind of, in a way, inexplicable and psychic and supernatural, and that gets passed down to you. And if you feel like thinking about them more often and you feel their presence more strongly in January, just know here that there is a transfer of energies that's being brought to you from that person. It is like there is this energetic shift that's happening in your family lineage. And within the Six of Emotion, I want you to know that it's actually very important for you to plan a staycation or a getaway soon. I see here within the Six of Emotion that you're kind of sitting here with a huge hole, if you will. Not in a negative sense, but just feeling a lot, experiencing a lot, being there for a lot of people, being the person that everyone comes to when they need something. And you're kind of dreaming of a little bit of a getaway and a little bit of a lessening of responsibility. Not forever. You understand that if you want to accomplish things, of course, you're going to have to put in effort. You're going to have to work just like everyone else. But you can also tell that for balance, which is what the Two of Materials is about, you need some sort of getaway and vacation as well, where you can just relax, be yourself, let your hair down, and actually just like enjoy not having any responsibilities. This is especially important if you're a parent, but what we see here within this card, if you're a parent, don't be afraid to send your kid away, okay? Either with the other parent, to a grandparent that you trust, to a camp if they're old enough. And don't worry about the fact that, oh my God, that means I don't want to spend time with my kid, blah, blah, blah. No, you raised that thing, okay? You gave up your life for this individual. You made so many concessions, but you're also just human. Just because one becomes a parent doesn't mean that all of a sudden you're a human that doesn't have any needs anymore. You've got needs too, and just because you're used to your needs not always being met or taken seriously or put in first place doesn't mean that they can't be put in first place by you. But that's your responsibility to do so, group number 2, and to make sure that that really does happen for your mental health and your well-being. Now, group 2, I'm feeling this urge to clear, cleanse, and free the space of the current energies that we've got. And then I'll be right back to delve more deeply into your month of January. So just hold on tight, group number 2, and I'll be right back. Welcome back, group number 2. So let's delve a little more deeply into your January prediction, shall we? So first up, we've got heaven and earth reversed. So I see here that pressures are subsiding for perfection during the month of January. I see that the older you get, the more you realize that, in a sense, we are pushed to think that perfection exists in some way, or that we'll ever read all those books that we own, finish our to-do lists, find that perfect person at a certain age, already be very financially affluent and successful by, I don't know, 30 years old, or whatever it feels like society is pushing us to think we should do and is possible. And you're just like realizing, you know, this is so unrealistic for all of these areas of life to look like this, to already be perfect. And you're reminding yourself of the fact that there is no such thing as you not being in the right place. You are thriving in your own right and in your own way. You are working hard. You are already ahead of a lot of your peers. Let's not compare you to just one instance or one extreme example. And often people who are very extreme in some areas of life, I mean areas like being very successful in their career, very successful in their love life, they often do experience a lot of lack in other areas. Therefore, like think of professional athletes, for example. They may be at the top of their career by 20, 25, maybe even before that. But what about their personal life? What about their social skills? What about their financial planning? It doesn't really do much for you to have all of this money and success if you don't know how to deal with it. So know that just because you don't have one area of your life that has peaked or that seems to be, oh my God, so above average amazing, it's actually a lot safer for every area of your life to be worked on securely, gradually, and in a disciplined way to get there slowly but steadily, rather than to rise up and then crash just as quickly as you were able to get up there. Next up, we've got the Three of Earth in reverse. Let me just show you this card upright as well. Isn't this such a beautiful, magical card? So we've got a little squirrel, we've got some flowers, we got you sowing some seeds. This card showing up in reverse shows us that you've got enough projects and things going on right now. It's time to not spread yourself so thin and put so many options out there, but instead focus on some of the seeds that you want to plant. Water those, nurture those, fertilize those in order for those to actually turn into little saplings, all right, and little flowers that can bloom and blossom. It's very much time for you to make sure that you're tending to the ideas that you have, focus on them, follow through on them, and then move on to the next. Because sometimes when we have so many things going on simultaneously, we end up kind of completing none of them and feeling overwhelmed, and then we end up binging Netflix for the entire day rather than getting ahead with our to-do list, because there's so much going on. It's like, where do we even begin? Next up, we've got the Four of Water. So the Four of Water shows that you're doing a lot of reflecting on your childhood in January and what may have caused you to have this need to be perfect, to feel this urge to do something exceptional, to prove your worth and your value, and to want to somehow show that people's efforts to love you or be there for you weren't in vain. And if no one has ever told you this, group number 2, here it goes. Your parents' responsibility was to take care of you, to love you unconditionally, to make you feel confident and good about yourself. Like, you don't owe someone anything. You shouldn't feel the need to prove yourself to your parents. Those are the people who should always have open arms and an open ear for you. Now, unfortunately, a lot of parents somehow do not fit the job description. I don't even know how they got the job, but that is not a reflection of you or your worth or your value or anything that has to do with kind of figuring out if it was your fault that you were treated badly, that you were bullied, that you were treated, I can't even say this on YouTube because I'll get demonetized, but the Two of Blades reverse shows us here, like, it's time to move on from trying to take responsibility where it's not your responsibility and it's just not your job to do so. Trying to take responsibility when the other person was an adult, the other person should have known better, is not something that you should feel the need to do, group number 2, okay? It's not right, it's not fair, and if you were an adult, you would also not make a child take responsibility for actions that you took that are beyond the child's control but still affected the child potentially negatively. Next up, we've got the Three of Cups for you, group number 2. Now this card, as you can see, shows having fun, all right? Having a good time with other people, not just yourself, from all sorts of backgrounds in all different parts of the world, celebrating and reminding yourself of the fact that you are a survivor. You're the type of person who never gives up. You're the type of person that sees good in others. And to just remind yourself that your surroundings are really important. So in January, if there are some work events you can go to, some expos, some sort of networking events, go there, have fun, have a good time, take a friend with you, make new connections, meet people that allow you to see great relationships that can form even as an adult, even in your later years. Next, we've got the Nine of Blades reversed. Group number 2, if you've been struggling with sleeping, your sleep patterns, and falling asleep at an earlier time, January is the month in which that will start to get better. And I want to see why and how. Let's ask Spirit precisely why things are getting better in January when it comes to your sleep. We've got the Knight of Pentacles reversed. So either because an ex is finally leaving your life, you're finally getting over them, you're breaking up with a situationship or a dusty, so that is actually helping you to sleep better at night and also to feel more calm and less stressed out, less wondering where you stand. Or in the Knight of Pentacles reversed, a financial burden and worry that is leaving group number 2. All right, so either way, this is good. Either way, this is what we want to see for you, group number 2. I also want to add our Astro Dice in just to see what is helping you when it comes to your sleep patterns. Okay, so here within Uranus, which we received, we have got the planet of the unexpected, of a revolutionary feeling, of some sort of reform. So it's going to feel as though there is fresh life being brought to you during the month of January. And I also want to see what sign is going to help you get there. So here, let me just zoom in, group number 3. So here we have got Virgo energy. This makes a lot of sense with the Knight of Pentacles reversed, as the suit of Pentacles corresponds to the element of earth, and Virgo is an infamous earth sign. So I see that a Virgo leaving your life and just overall Virgo energy being eliminated so that more unexpected positivity can happen, because Virgo energy, in case you didn't know, is very organized, it's very detail oriented, and it can be a big kind of perfectionist energy. I see that it's helping you to live life more easily, having Virgo energy be a little less dominant within your existence in January. Next up, we've got Palais, so lighting your fire during the month of January. This is what will happen when you feel like you can get more sleep that is restful, that is relaxing, that is rejuvenating, not worrying so much anymore, and slowly getting over a love life that didn't serve you, slowly getting over boundaries that you've set and you've reinforced, and feelings of loneliness too, but turning that into your superpower. Next, we've got Ra. Now, Ra is about sharing your gift. The month of January brings this renewed feeling of sharing a gift of yours, and you'll do that with friends and family. So you'll either sing for them or cook for them if you love to cook for the people that you admire and adore. Another thing in sharing your gift that I'm seeing is giving great words of wisdom and advice to other people, and also thinking to yourself, group number 2, oh, I have all this great advice, maybe I should take some of it myself. And another thing here within Ra is also helping people plan for their future and predict their future. You yourself may read tarot or be a clairvoyant individual, and you're helping others by sharing this gift during January. If you've got a YouTube channel or you're thinking of starting a YouTube channel for readings and sharing your other gifts that you may have, January is when to do so. January is when you should share, because you've got something meaningful to say, and chances are high in January that you'll make some traction by having a piece of content of yours go semi-viral, of gaining a lot more followers, a lot more kind of recognition and views, and people seeing the things that you're putting out there and then attracting opportunities, like making a gift of yours a main job more than just a hobby, potential sponsorships, and so on. So January is very potent for you, group number 2, and I want you to really make the most of this month, because the opportunities that you've got, they're no joke, group number 2, all right? So make the most of them. Now, group number 2, this is the reading that I've received for you, and I hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. Feel free to let me know below in the comment section by leaving a little dog emoji below. Furthermore, if you love this space and you found it insightful, relaxing, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also, all of my rings and the nails that I'm wearing within this reading, because yes, these are press-on nails, you guys. I know, hard to believe because they're so gorgeous and luxurious looking, but I actually always wear press-on nails because I don't have time to go to a nail salon. You guys always ask me about my nails, so I decided why not source the nails that I use all by myself, these beautiful handmade nails that I know are of amazing quality, they're reusable, and let the unicorn fam be able to enjoy the same manicures that I give myself. So all of that is below in the description box, group number 2. And yeah, you guys, I'm sending you frequencies of abundance, sending you tons of hugs and love, and I can't wait to connect with you during one of my upcoming readings. Hello, group number 3. Welcome to your reading. You chose the Divine Feather Messenger Oracle deck to help guide you through your month of January 2024 prediction. So let's get into it and figure out whom this feather belongs to and what it means right at the start of your reading. So first up, we've got the White Eagle, group number 3. The White Eagle brings you the message that the connection to divine guidance is within you, and moving forward for 2024 and the first month, don't feel as though you're missing anything. The White Eagle brings you the message that everything you need is already within. So if you're looking externally to what you can buy, what course you can take, what kind of upgrade you can pull into your life to make you better, you've already got what you need to be the best version of yourself, group number 3. It's about actually applying the knowledge that you've gathered up until this point. Now let's see who we've got next. We've got the Wren. The Wren shows us that a message for you for January is to be bold and confident, use all your resources to create your dreams. This reiterates and underlines the message we just spoke about the fact that you've already got your resources. Use all of your resources to create your dreams. Sometimes we've got so much going for us that we don't even know where to start, and then we just look for more stuff. Like, has your home or your room ever been so cluttered and then somehow you want to buy more organizational like tubs and items, and you feel like, oh, if you just get this item it will somehow magically reorganize your whole space, even though what you actually need to do is just get a grip on what you already have, because your life is already abundant if you were just to see it and make use of it. Yeah, that's what the Wren is kind of calling you out on here for the month of January. And next up, let's see who we've got. Very mysterious. This is giving me very elegant vibes, very elegant man vibes in a way, very masculine energy, like man in a suit. That's what I'm getting here from this feather. I really said that I'm getting that from a feather, group number 3. Wow, we have reached a new level of weird and woo-woo on this channel and in this space. So we've got the Condor. The Condor brings you the message to hold the highest vision for your life. You now possess the ability to move past any hurdles. In January, obstacles are being cleared for you. And the thing here with January is that we want you to continue taking this energy of obstacles being cleared with you throughout the entire year. So not just for January, but move forth with this very outspoken, bold and confident Wren energy throughout the upcoming months in order to continue to push forth the way you've always wanted to. All right, so in January, I want you to know that you've got the ability to move past any challenges that may arise, and the Six of Wands confirms that you will be triumphant at this. The Six of Wands is the 6 of the element of fire, as the wands corresponds to the element of fire. And as you can see here, you're sitting on your white unicorn pony. You're confidently riding through the rose bushes. And this card shows a feeling of victory, confidence, and also sharing your victories with other people close to you. Now we've also got the Six of Cups. The number 6 is really doing its thing. Group number 3. The number 6 is a very fortunate number. This is a number of generosity, of family, of togetherness. And the Six of Cups shows that when it comes to your relationships, all is well. There's no drama in January, group number 3, okay? Everything is going according to plan. It's going how you like it to go. And you're feeling during the month of January like your relationships couldn't be better. I mean, sure, if you met the perfect person or your relationship and marriage went to that next level, okay, maybe that, but just overall, there's not much to complain about. And for all of you who always ask me about this deck, this is my Pastel Journey Tarot deck that I authored, created, self-published. You can find it on bowlife.com. The link is below in the description box, which is my website. It's also on Etsy, and sometimes it's on Amazon in the US, depending on how much stock that we have. But yeah, this is like the most cute, sweet, inclusive deck ever. And I mean, look at these. Look at the sides, right? So moving on, we've got the Empress. The Empress corresponds to the number 3. Have you noticed, group number 3, how you chose the number 3? Then we had the 6 and another 6, which, 3 multiplied by 2, we have 6. And now we have 3 again. So the number 3 is really doing a number on you, group number 3. And the Empress is a card of fertility. This is a card of beauty, of being the center of attention with all of the people who you wish would give you attention. So people who you're interested in, who you find to be influential, hot, attractive. They're seeing the same in you, and they are showing an interest in getting to know you during the month of January. So use this glow that you are inevitably kind of radiating and taking with you everywhere you go during the month of January to make it known that, you know what, I'm available for some new contacts. I'm available for some new bonds, relationships, and even platonic ones. If you are looking to pair up with people who are very driven when it comes to their careers, January is it. The Blue Whale, which corresponds to the number 44, and this is the last card in this BTS deck, this Below the Surface deck, which is also a deck that I created and self-published. You guys actually helped me design the backs of these cards because I posted on Instagram that we're either going to do like a koi fish back or a whale back, and I asked you guys to vote, and you guys voted 50-50. It was 50% koi, 50% whale, and I was like, great, you guys. I thought you would help me decide, but now we got to do both. So then we designed backs of cards that had both within them, which I love for us, group number 3. Why did I turn that card upside down? I don't know. But next up, within the Blue Whale, we've got ultimate fulfillment here for you during the month of January. This shows that you're dreaming big and your dreams are working out. You are taking one step at a time towards some very big goals that you've had for your life, and it feels like you're just getting closer and closer to owning that home, making that amount of money every single month, and also just decentralizing your life from wanting for that perfect partner to come in, but you're actually super happy even just by yourself, just living your life without needing anyone to be there. And I see here within the whale shark that you're so not hoping, wishing, begging, and trying to pull anything into your life. You just feel like you'll let your heart lead you. You'll allow for things to find you. You don't chase, you attract. There's nothing you can't have. And I want you to know here that you have this internal roadmap that's going to lead you. There's no part of you that is doubtful of what's to come next. And the lack of doubt, the lack of overthinking is what actually makes you super attractive to great opportunities, to wealth, to other people's love, because you don't have any of that insecure energy within you that makes people actually kind of move in a different direction, right? So you're choosing a new direction in January. You'll have a huge choice to make when it comes to your career in January. That's one thing that I see. You'll be at a crossroads, and how you're deciding is for you to choose a new direction. You feel like you're ready to take a leap of faith, like you're ready to try something, even though it may seem risky, or friends and family might tell you, oh, you should stay in this job, you should stay in this position. Well, why would you want to jeopardize what you've worked for up until this point, blah, blah, scarcity mindset. But group number 3, you're not really feeding into that, nor are you allowing that to take any space up within your mind, because you aren't afraid to bet on yourself, and you understand that if others are so afraid for you and for your success, and they're worried that you're going to fail and so on, it's often a reflection of how they feel about themselves, not your capabilities, not your life, not what you are able to accomplish. Next, we've got abundance. So group 3, in abundance, January brings you more money than you expected. We've got financial abundance, as you can see here within the coins, a feeling of thinking, oh wow, this is nice. And in January, I want you to know that when you get that extra abundance, save it, group number 3, okay? Don't immediately think about how you can spend it or what you can do with these funds and this increase in abundance. Save it for a rainy day, because trust me, you will be happy that you did. And group 3, I now feel inclined to clear and cleanse the space and then be back with you to delve more deeply into this reading. So just hold on tight and we'll figure out more of what's coming towards you during the month of January. All right, group number 3. So let's continue to move into your January prediction, shall we? First up, be authentic. So the Wild Muse Oracle deck is urging you to take off the mask and be authentic in January. That may look a little something like no longer covering up a birthmark that you feel uncomfortable with, or certain scars like acne scars. No longer feeling the need to not smile as much because maybe you've got insecurities when it comes to your teeth and your appearance overall. And being authentic means recognizing the fact that this is who you are, this is how you were born, and there's nothing to feel ashamed of. The whole concept of shame is a construct that has been developed in order to actually have companies and brands make a profit off of our insecurities. Why give in to that? Why allow that to be a thing? The more we can be authentic and confident, regardless of whether we fit into society's norms and standards, the more it will also be normal to be a human being that is imperfect, because that's what we are. January is about gentleness. It's about being kind to yourself. It is about reminding yourself that we live in a world that teaches us to be hard on each other and on ourselves, but it is a choice. We can decide to disassociate from that. We can decide to not make it a thing. Another thing we've got here are feathers. Pink and purple feathers. Don't be surprised if during January you have a connection with pink and purple feathers, or you purchase something that has a pink and a purple feather on it. In multiple streams, focus on diversifying your financial streams of income. Now, that may be as simple as having a little side hustle that you do on the weekends or in the evenings. It could be something as little as a service that you are offering because of everything that you've learned and the experience that you've been able to garner in your current job or the current profession that you are doing. And I just want you to know here that when it comes to being authentic and having multiple streams, the best way to build this is to ask yourself, what do you love so much that you would do it for free? What brings you so much joy and overall just satisfaction that you would offer it for free if you didn't have to make money and earn a living? For me, that's tarot, writing, creating things, creating products that will elevate you and make you feel better, stronger, and more confident about yourself, just like my decks. Like this is the Wild Muse Oracle deck. Love it. Love creating things that enable you to feel better about yourself and not profiting from your insecurities, you know? Next up, we've got the queen of everything. Be aware of the fact that in January, you are the queen of everything. People are looking to you for inspiration, and once you take that mask off and you really embrace the things that in the past you were made to feel insecure about, or you even kind of got drawn into feeling insecure because these are things you were bullied for or people pointed out as like negative traits in you. Once you conquer that, like a lot of people, you would be surprised, who have the same insecurities that you've got will come up to you and be like, you know what, ever since I saw you being so confident and like embracing yourself in this way, it gave me the confidence to embrace myself in this way. It made me feel like I can feel good about myself too. I don't have to hide. I don't have to feel uncomfortable about the way that I was created. Next up, we've got prosperity. Now, abundance and prosperity, it's being reiterated within your reading group number 3. There's no other way to say that money is flowing to you in January than we already have had the cards kind of communicate. So know that January is going to be more prosperous, and it will give you more of a drive and push and inspiration to create more streams of income, because you just love that feeling of that little bit of an unexpected coin. I mean, who doesn't? I also see that you're getting answers in January. Important answers. If you have been waiting for a letter, for a piece of information that you have not received just yet, group number 3, know that in January you'll get that. You'll know finally where you stand. You will get that court ruling. You will get that finalization of your divorce proceeding. You will get that piece of information about whether you passed the test or the exam. And then finally, your mind will be at peace and at ease. You will no longer be wondering what's going on. Also getting like your passport, getting your ability to stay in a country if it has something to do with immigration that you're waiting for too. And it will come in the form of like an email or a letter here, and the person signing off on it will be an unknown man and someone that you've never heard of and will probably not be in touch with again. It will just be for this specific answer. Next up, we've got Ceres, but in reverse. So the thing here in Ceres is that you're taking a little bit less time actually to nurture yourself or to like do things that you love doing. Group number 3, maybe could be because you're working a lot and you're just very busy in January. That's one thing that I see. And then we've got the 4th house reversed, which shows that you're not spending a lot of time at home either. And when you got to pay that rent, it is painful when you've barely spent any time at home. It's like, what is this for? Like, can't I just tell my landlord I've barely even been in the place? Like, I've barely even used it. So the 4th house reverse definitely shows here that you're spending a lot of time outside, spending a lot of time working with friends at friends and families' homes. And in Leo reverse, I do also see here that you're creating a little bit of distance to anyone who always feels like they have to dampen your shine or kind of like humble you. That's not your friend in group number 3. You don't need friends to humble you. You need friends to hype you up. You need friends who are happy the more you shine and the more confident that you actually are. And then we've got the moon reverse. Only reverse cards. This is really interesting. So in the moon reverse, I do also see here, group number 3, not to freak you out, but you're just kind of moving a little away from most people's reality. So you're being very quirky, very different. I do see that you're embracing the side of yourself that is authentic, but is also interested in things such as like conspiracy theories. You're interested in other forms of life in the universe and those that may have even potentially visited planet Earth. And you're very much like into seeing what is behind the facade, like things that are going on that nobody really talks about, that's kind of like forbidden knowledge, if you will. So the month of January is the month of mystery and uncovering mystery. So a lot of documentaries are going to be watched by you that are about not only conspiracies, but also the truth about a lot of big industries and ways in which we are being used, manipulated, and gaslighted as a society as a whole. And I do also want you to know here within the moon reverse that that is going to have you be a lot more careful around where you spend your money, the people you hang out with, because for you, then it's just going to feel like, everything is sensitive. You've got to be careful with every move that you make. So not that you're getting paranoid, but you're just being more mindful about what kind of energy you surround yourself with and what kind of products you consume and you add into your life. So also things that have a lot of fragrance, that have a lot of ingredients that aren't healthy, you're paying closer attention to that. And the thing is, the more you get answers from different like indie documentaries and people who have gone behind the glitzy, shimmery facade, the more you're like, wow, this world is so much deeper and has so many more layers than I actually ever expected. And it's a very eye-opening month for you. It is like a aha moment month in January and a month of spiritual enlightenment. Now, group number 3, this is the reading that I've received for you, and I hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. For all of you who always ask me and are wondering, all of my crystal rings are from my store Bow Life. It's linked in the description box. Like, this is the most gorgeous aquamarine ring. I'm obsessed with it. This is a rose quartz ring. This is a moonstone ring. Then we have more moonstone, amethyst, and moonstone. I'm just in this moonstone vibe, which is a really great stone for anyone who wants to strengthen their intuition or is a water sign, so Pisces, Cancerian, and Scorpio. And you guys, I even added these press-on nails to my website as well, because you guys always ask me about my nails. Well, I do them myself. I don't have time to go into a nail salon, neither do I have the funds for that. And I totally get you if you feel the same way. So I decided to start my own press-on nail line. These are high quality, reusable, luxury press-on nails. You can find those on my website too. It's like I've got everything that I love or I've created on my website, be it tarot decks or crystals or press-on nails or even like my cloud mug cups and saucers. Everything that I love is on there, so check it out, you guys. It's like a lifestyle store. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you're new here and you feel really comfortable, don't forget to subscribe to never miss an upcoming prediction. And group number 3, I'm sending you love and hugs, and I can't wait to connect with you during one of my upcoming readings. Hello, group number 4, and welcome to your reading. You chose the Heavenly Bodies Astrology deck in order to help guide you through your January of 2024 prediction. I'm so excited to get into this with you, group number 4. Let's see what we've got for the month of January for you, shall we? So just lean back, relax, and enjoy. If you're commuting to somewhere or you're just listening to this as you're chilling, doing something around your house, I want you to know that this is an excellent time for you to prime your mind for a successful month of January. And this is a little bit of self-care that you're sprinkling into your day, and I'm proud of you for doing so. So right off the bat, we've got strong Gemini energy for you. Now, this doesn't need to mean that you are a Gemini or you've got Gemini placements in your chart. Just having this energy in January shows that an increase in curiosity, intellect, and networking is what we're finding for you for this upcoming month. Now, having an increase in communication and networking means that you are expanding your friend circle and your network of acquaintances as a whole. And as they say, your network is your net worth. So definitely understand here within Gemini that you're making new connections during the month of January, which will be very, very exciting, as here within the 6th house, I see that you will be meeting somebody who is fairly established in a career in the health industry, the health and wellness industry. So this is potentially a doctor, a nurse, or someone who does holistic healing that you are going to meet during the month of January, and they will be an important acquaintance for you in the future. I see that here in connectivity to Gemini. You'll exchange numbers with them, email addresses, and I want you to know here that they're someone who you can go to for really practical advice, or even if you need a prescription for something, they are the one to go to, group number 4. Don't tell anyone that I told you this on this channel, but let's move further into your reading. We've got Mercury. So Mercury retrograding is old news, right? So if you're experiencing any type of issues with any electronic devices, know that Mercury is to blame. Also, like your laptop just crashing, make sure you save those Word documents and files, all right, at all times, and even put it on autosave if you can. Here within Mercury, we do have positive aspects of Mercury for you during the month of January, which is the planet of communication, of learning, of thinking, but again, we've got the word network here. We already had networking within Gemini, and Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Now, would you look at that, group number 4. So also any of you who have Gemini placements within Mercury, I want you to know that this is your month of making the most amount of connections. If you are doing things such as using LinkedIn for your career, and for all of you who are single, dating online, there will be so many new introductions that you're making in January that you'll barely be able to keep up, group number 4. So one thing that I would even recommend for you to do is to keep a little Excel file or a little list in your journal of contacts that have been useful and helpful, some little information about them, so that when you meet them again, they're like, oh my God, you remembered this about me. And that will really strengthen the bonds that you want to make important and that you want to really have grow within your life. Next up, we've got the Sun. This is a super positive card, group number 4. Well, what else from the Pastel Journey deck? This is definitely a deck with very positive, serendipitous energy. I love this deck. This is the second deck that I ever published, and it just makes me feel so proud to use this deck because it is absolutely gorgeous. Now, the Sun shows us a bag full of sunflowers, right? But what this card actually means is bliss, warmth, and feeling like you belong. So if you're the type of person, group number 4, who identifies as a bit of an introvert is what I meant to say, an empath, a starseed that feels like they don't quite belong on planet Earth, I want you to know that during the month of January, you'll finally have a deeper feeling of belonging, and also understanding that you can stand out and feel different, but still also belong, and that we are meant to have people on planet Earth who belong to planet Earth and belong in human society, but are different, and they belong because they are the pioneers. So see it as something positive, group number 4. Here within the 9 of Wands, I can see that after all of this socializing and drinking a lot, eating unhealthy foods, lots of sugar, fats, and salts, you need a timeout after January. It's going to be a time where you're being called to focus on your health again, to make sure that you're not overdoing it when it comes to all of these unhealthy bits, and to not be so hard on yourself if you've fallen off some healthy habits already at the beginning of the year because you were focusing on networking, on growing your connections, and on showing up at different events. Just make sure that you get back on track by taking some much needed you time during the month of February, because you, of course, don't want to burn yourself out. Group number 4. Next up, we've got the Knight of Cups. Now, the Knight of Cups is the knight of the element of water, because the Suit of Cups corresponds to just that, the element of water. Now, water signs such as Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, these are going to be very drawn to you. Okay, look how they're looking at you. Group number 4. They feel as though, ooh, this is an interesting person. They will come up and talk to you during the month of January. You will have this magical kind of draw that pulls water signs to you. And pulling water signs to you means pulling people to you who like to have deep conversations. So anything surface level is not going to vibe with them. If you have a boss, a romantic interest that you want to like you more, group number 4, then make sure if they're like a water sign that you don't keep things surface level, but you get into some deep personal details with them. It doesn't even necessarily have to be like your story. You can just tell them a story of a friend or someone that you know that went through something profound, and they're going to love that. They're going to eat that up, group number 4. So if you want to be strategic in your relationships and connections, that's where it's at. Next up, we've got the Mandarin fish. Now, this card shows up when it's important to be gentle and to take steps back if needed. So because there is a lot of going forward type of energy, a lot of energy of actually being very like disciplined in ways of connecting with others. All right, when it comes to emails, calls, and networking, you're being super forthcoming, but then in other ways you're not so gentle with yourself. Like you're still forcing yourself to go out in the evenings even though you're tired. You're forcing yourself to work a little more, and that's where the Mandarin fish tries to remind you that you are a gentle little flower in need of some watering as well. And I know this might sound very dramatic, group number 4, but you're the main character of your life. We can be as dramatic as we want to be. If you're feeling a little tired, group number 4, then you're feeling tired. If you're feeling like you want a little bit of gentleness from yourself, because that's what you've been lacking, that's not dramatic. That's just you being truthful about your needs. And here, within the bottlenose dolphin, I just see that we've got these two sides to January that you're trying to balance. For one, you're having a good time with other people. This also corresponds to the number 3. The bottlenose dolphin shows you're having fun, you're partying. As you can see, this is a time of sharing, caring, and making new connections. You're socializing and you're celebrating life. That's what January is about. And then on the other hand, because you're the type of person who can be a little bit of an introvert or feel awkward around a lot of people, especially those you don't know, you need a little bit of gentleness behind closed doors to just nourish yourself again, to fill your energy tank back up, because believe it or not, being very social, going out and partying, doing all of those things, it is draining for you, group number 4. Even though you're making progress, you're learning to talk to anyone, basically, you're like sharpening your speaking skills, your social skills, and you're having fun adding to your network, it's still in a very profound way kind of draining and kind of not the easiest thing for you to do. And I do see here within the Great Hammerhead that you are stronger than you know. So even when things are tough, you still go through it trying to smile and keep a very positive outlook. You're the kind of person who will still make the best of any situation, even if you're suffering a little bit. But it's also really important that you have those days where you just stay home, you eat your favorite meals, you just focus on yourself, maybe even do a little bit of online shopping. You spend just time doing you and fully enjoy that without feeling like you have to make time for other people or phone calls or even your kids. Like, there's one thing that I like, a story. It's really funny, you guys. When I was a kid, like after 8 p.m. or something, and we'll get into the Flying Gurnard in a second, let me just tell you guys this little personal anecdote about taking time for you and being gentle with yourself after you've socialized and you've given everyone kind of attention. My mom, after a certain time at night, after like 8 p.m. or something, and it was soon to be my bedtime, she's like, I'm not your mom, okay? Now I am me. I'm doing me. You're fed, you're clothed, you have a roof over your head, you're set for school tomorrow. This is me time now, okay? You go do you until you gotta sleep, but I'm not mom right now, so don't bother me. And that is such a power move, you guys, and I hope I am able to set boundaries one day if I ever decide to have kids with those kids and still maintain a sense of, okay, now I need me time, and this is scheduled me time, and this is when I am okay with even telling my child, you know what, there are certain boundaries here, because in order for me to be a good parent or a good person, I need to make sure my cup is filled, and we all have different needs for the levels at which we want to fill our cups. And if we fail to do so, as the Flying Gurnard brings us this message of emotions running high, ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it really worth being everybody's everything all the time and having mental breakdown after mental breakdown when you could actually just notice and realize when it's time for you to take a little step back and take care of you And maybe you won't be everyone's everything all the time, but at least when you do show up, you're showing up in a healthy way. At least when you do show up, you're able to be the best version of yourself for you, but also for everyone who comes in touch with you. So group number 4, these are the messages that we've received so far. Now I feel inclined to clear and cleanse the space with some sage. I'll do that off camera, and then I'll be right back and we can delve a little more deeply into your January predictions. Hello, group number 4, welcome back. So let's pull some letters to see what Spirit wants to say to you about January. So we've got R-E-D, red. Okay, that's very, very interesting, group number 4. So you'll be seeing a lot of red, and that will be like a subliminal. It will be kind of like a synchronicity that shows up for you. I also want to add some charms into your reading. And yes, you guys, I'm repping my Bow Life velvet pouches that you guys get with all of your orders in my online store, because multi-use of packaging, hello, like who doesn't love that? So next we've got the poodle as well as the star. So these are the things for you to pay attention to. For some reason, a poodle with red. Think a red bow. Think a red kind of like outfit on a little poodle. This looks like a standard poodle. It could also maybe be like a labradoodle. And here we've got a star. So a star that is colored in red. Okay, these are your symbols for January. This is what you are going to see, and you're going to be like, this is really weird. Why is there red on this Labrador? Why am I seeing a red star? Because typically Labradors, I mean dogs just in general, red is not a very typical thing to see. Maybe collars, bows, and clothing, but again, rare. So you'll know when this shows up that this was meant for you. And stars are typically any color but red, right? So I do want you to know here that this is a very specific message for the month of January of what to look out for. And when you see these sign symbols and synchronicities, you will realize, okay, this reading was really meant for me. And you'll also be confirmed that you're on the right path. You'll have this piece of confirmation that will give you the security to continue moving forward. So next up, we have the Knight of Swords as well as the Page of Cups. So these are two individuals in January that are meaningful, and we'll find out precisely why. Let me just move these things over. So here within the Page of Cups, this is young water sign energy. This is someone kind of naive, someone who has like younger sibling energy. And then the Knight of Swords is someone who is very direct, straightforward, can low-key be a little confrontational and annoying. So I do want you to know, we've got this younger person, this younger sibling coming to you, complaining about an older person that they're working with or they need to deal with that is mean to them, that is brutally honest, even though we don't need the brutal part, you can just be honest, and that is kind of like making their life hard, like bullying them, you know. And let's see what else we've got. Okay, the King of Cups. Now the King of Cups is where you come into play. You have been in this situation before. And in January, having someone young, kind of naive, someone who needs your help coming to you with a story that sounds all too familiar, where they're being bullied by a teacher and a figure of authority, also, you know, a work colleague, for example, you know precisely what to do. You have a strong hand of cards here, and you know how to play that. And you're going to give them all the tips and the book that they need, and you're taking on the role of a mentor. You want to help people who don't know how to stand up for themselves or who can't stand up for themselves to get justice. You want to help them to protect oneself. So the month of January is meaningful in the sense of not only making more contacts, but also being the person that stands up for others and being like a mentor to a younger individual. Next up, we've got the Olive Ridley Sea Turtle. So this card is about knowing what inevitably must be done, even if that's out of your comfort zone. So the story behind this card is that the Olive Ridley Sea Turtle does float and flow effortlessly within water and is able to swim, and the shell that it carries with itself isn't as heavy or as much of a burden in the water. But once they're out of their comfort zone on land, because they know what has to be done, they have to lay their eggs in order to sustain the species, and they come back to the place where they hatched. The beautiful story behind this card, which I created for my Below the Surface Oracle deck. So I want you to know that that's precisely, in a less dramatic way, what January brings for you. You know what needs to be done. It's out of your comfort zone to be a teacher, a mentor, and the kind of person who kind of claims that they're an expert, but you know what inevitably must be done. In order for good and youth that is excited, that wants to do good, to continue to grow and thrive and to survive, you have to set an example and protect. You have to get out of your comfort zone and help others in order to become versions of themselves that you know in the future will have a ripple effect of positivity in this world. I know you don't like to be the person that proclaims to be the expert or the one to look up to, the guru, but in some instances, it's better you than someone else taking that spot who has ill intent or who is only on an ego trip and likes to be in a position of power because it makes them feel good, not because they're trying to do good. So next we have the beluga whale, which is all about feeding your curiosity. You're trying something new during the month of January. And I also want to find out precisely what that is. We have some experimentation symbol here. Oh, and by the way, for all of you who are wondering where I get my crystal rings and even press-on nails from, because yes, you guys, I have started to supply you guys with the most fabulous handmade luxurious press-on nails, the ones that I wear in my videos. Check out my links in the description box for my website, bowlife.com. It is my lifestyle store. You can find everything that I use for my current lifestyle on there and that I use to help attain this lifestyle. So as we spoke about here within the beluga whale, you'll be trying something completely new and different. And I see here in the candy bracelet that what this does is that it makes you keep your standards really high because you're realizing trying something new also means investing in yourself. So you're not afraid to spend a little bit of extra coin in January on yourself, your self-development and improving your life. And that just makes you think like if there's somebody in your life and they're not making it better, they're not like investing in you or the connection or making your life better, what are they even here for? Because you can do it for yourself. So do you need like someone in your life that isn't improving it? Because then it's kind of like, what's the point? So we have hyper independence that you're leaning towards in January, which is not a bad thing. Group number 4, especially if you have had a history of picking partners that end up kind of like using you in a sense. And it's not like straight up using you, but when the relationship ends, they definitely leave with more positives than you. And it's like that every time, like they always gained more. And it's not that we're trying to make this transactional or that we're trying to say, okay, well, we got to gain this or this needs to happen, or that it's about what you can get out of every situation. But in a way, we have to start realizing to pay attention to this because it is an important aspect, unfortunately. Because when you don't pay attention to it being equal, you always end up being the person that is too kind and too nice and ends up being taken advantage of. So you teach people how to treat you. But I see that you've got it all going for yourself because next we receive the world in your reading. And group number 4, this is the last card of the major arcana within the tarot, and it is said to be the most positive card. It is said to be the card of absolute, complete fulfillment, not wanting for anything, but having everything that you need in your life during the month of January and feeling content, feeling a feeling of bliss as well. And like there's nothing you're missing out on in your life. Like you've got everything and more. Next, we have got the 6 of Cups. The Six of Cups shows us stability in your relationships, as the Suit of Cups corresponds to the element of water, which is the element that represents your relationships and your emotions. The number 6 in numerology is a positive number of strengthening relationships. As you can see, we have this tower made up of cups, and while by themselves they may not be as strong as a tower, they are actually able to grow really high. Okay, you can stack cups in this way to a really high kind of magnitude. I've seen videos of cups being stacked like this, like up to the ceiling. So just know here that when things are built on a solid foundation, you can really grow. And that is one thing that I see that brings a lot of fulfillment. You have your family that's backing you in January, even some unexpected people coming around to back you up and to help build with you. Next, we have got the Death card, which group number 4. I don't want you to feel like this means literal death, because it doesn't. It's actually a pretty positive card in the tarot, and it shows up when there is an ending of the cycle that doesn't serve you, which needs to come to an end and to a death, so to say, and it's time for you to move on to something else, something new. Now, when the Death card shows up, I just also want you to understand that why this is positive is because there can be situations in your life that are preventing you from experiencing absolute bliss, fulfillment, and knowing your worth. And when those situations, or shall I say situationships, leave, it's actually like a rebirth for you. It's actually finally an opportunity for you to remind yourself of what happened, of what you allowed to happen, and to never let that arise again. So that's why I also always like to tell people, like, if your situationship or your romantic connection doesn't work out because for once you're simply allowing them to be who they are, and they don't fight for the connection, they don't try to make sure that you guys stay intact and keep going strong, let them do that. Let them show their true face. Let them show that they would never fight for this connection, that they would lose you just to protect their ego. Let them do it, group number 4, because do you really want to spend a lifetime with someone who can't even send you a text or call you to save the life of the relationship? No, group number 4. We are not accepting such below bare minimum behavior, so let it die, let it end, so you can plant new seeds and you can actually be happy with somebody that gives an F about you. Next, we've got the Three of Pentacles. Now, the Three of Pentacles shows building, collaborating, and receiving some coin, some bang for your buck. Now, the Three of Pentacles shows that there will be a reimbursement that comes your way that you did not expect. So look out for your credit card statement. There's something where you'll receive money back and you'll feel as though, oh, okay, this is nice. This is not something that I thought is coming my way. And this is going to happen in January for you, group number 4. Overall, I just want you to know here that you can still have a fresh start in a relationship that you're currently in and want to continue having in your life. So if there is an existing relationship and there's part of the dynamic that you don't appreciate, I just want you to know that if you do it in a kind of skillful manner, you can teach people how to know your worth and keep your standards high, or even elevate your standards in a relationship while you're dealing with somebody that you know, while you're dealing with somebody that has already known you for a long time, and where you've fallen into a routine of certain treatment, habits, and standards. You can elevate those in some instances to a place where you feel it should be, or you feel more comfortable. Okay, so it doesn't mean you have to throw everything away. With some people, you're able to elevate mid-relationship, and that's the only type of relationship that you should have. Another thing that I'm noticing, in the olive ridley sea turtle, we've got the number 8. In the beluga whale, we've got the number 16. So double of 8. 8 is about getting out of your comfort zone, doing what inevitably needs to be done. So once you've done that 2 times in January, you'll move on here to the beluga whale, to feeding your curiosity and trying something new with confidence, not being afraid to do so. For me, group number 4, that is like joining a women's club and going to a meetup there, going to some business events that I've never been to before, like some business talks, some exhibitions, some like business networking events. So I'm a little nervous, but I know it's going to be out of my comfort zone 2 times. And then I'll feed my curiosity the 3rd time with confidence, and I'll think to myself, oh, I've done it before. I can do it again. I belong. All right, you guys. So we had a little very bright moment there. It's as though Spirit and our guides want us to know that we've completed this reading, that you're set up for January. So group 4, thank you so much for being here and for spending this divine time and space with me. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave. And all the relevant links are below in the description box, so check those out. Even the ones for one-on-one live reading slots with me during the year 2024. So group 4, I love you so much. I'm sending you hugs and positive vibes, and I can't wait to connect with you during one of my upcoming readings.